Hey y'all, thought we would talk about what you can do for plantar fasciitis today. I'm Ginger Morrissey. I'm a physical therapist at Pinpoint Physical Therapy, and I see a lot of runners, tennis players, and golfers with plantar fasciitis. And it can, like any other orthopedic issue, it can be brought on by many different things. A lot of times I find trigger points or knots in calf muscles in people with plantar fasciitis. And then obviously I feel a lot of tightness in that fascia on the bottom of their foot throughout that arch. And sometimes they'll have a lot of tenderness right where the heel starts. That's where that fascia attaches. So there's let's talk about first some things that cause it. Like I mentioned, the trigger point in the calf muscles, that's one thing that can bring it on. And sometimes it's not even true plantar fasciitis. It's just that pain from that calf muscle. But typically it's brought on by poor fitting shoes. So the first thing you should check is if your shoe fits you well. Do you have enough room in the toe box? Is your heel nice and secure in your shoe? Do you have good arch support? That's a big one with plantar fasciitis. If you have a high arch, it needs to be supported. If you have a flat arch, you need to try to create some without being intrusive. And there's also, I'm going to show you in a minute, some exercises you can do to correct your arch. Another big thing that you want to check on your shoes, how old are they? How many miles do they have on them? You should change your shoes pretty frequently, and it just depends on how many miles you run a week. If you're a tennis player, are you on the hard court? Are you on the clay court? Same thing with runners. Are you running on pavement, sidewalks? Or are you running on the ground, on the dirt? Those all make a difference in the wear in our shoes. And I'm going to show you this, and I'm almost embarrassed to show you. But this is what not to do with your shoes. See right here? There is no tread on those shoes. That is very embarrassing. I should have thrown away these shoes a long time ago. In my defense, it was during COVID. I cannot fit a shoe without trying it on. So it's not like I was going to order some online because I have a very narrow heel and I have to go to the store, and I just wasn't comfortable going to the store. So I wore my shoes out. And so that's what not to do. We used to do a lot of inserts in shoes, and they can still be very helpful, but they're kind of a crutch. And, you know, it's negotiable. I mean, if people insist on inserts, I have good recommendations for some inserts in the shoes. But there's some strengthening exercises you can do for your arch that are going to help lift your arch. I don't know if you've noticed, and it depends on your age, but the older you get, the more flatter you will get in your feet. And it's because the same thing with all of our other muscles. When we turn 35 to 40 years old, then we start to lose muscle mass. And if we aren't doing strengthening exercises to counteract that, then our muscles are going to get smaller. So the same thing in our foot. We have lots of muscles in our feet. And if we don't strengthen those exercises, or if we don't strengthen those muscles, then they're gonna get weak and lose muscle mass just like the rest of our body. The little intrinsic muscles in our feet, they do all kinds of things. You think about anytime you're standing, walking, running, playing tennis, playing golf, you're using all those muscles. Your feet are holding you up all day long. So we need to take care of our feet, and we need to strengthen those muscles. So when I get a patient in the clinic, the first thing obviously that we're going to do is address their pain. So typically I'm going to find trigger points in their calf muscles. I'm going to either work that out or dry needle them. I'm going to teach them how to stretch, and I'm going to get my hand on their feet, and typically that fascia is going to be really tight. We'll do some manual things there as well, sometimes some dry needling there too. But one thing that is very helpful for them to do at home is to get a tennis ball, sit down while you're watching television or you're on a phone call, rub your foot with some pressure on that tennis ball. I tell you, whether you have plantar fasciitis or not, you're going to love this little exercise right here. And once I get started, I'm not going to want to stop. But that's one thing you can do for the pain. And then you can do a calf stretch. And I would suggest, if you have time in the mornings before you get out of bed, because typically that's when people have the worst pain, is that first weight bearing on the floor when they get out of bed. So have your tennis ball handy and do the tennis ball before you get out of bed. Okay. Then as we get their pain down, we're going to start working those muscles in their feet. So one thing you can do is just simply toe extensions. Raise those toes up. You're going to start sitting, and when that gets easy, then you can do these in standing. So it's just a little more functional with standing. Another thing I like to do is towel crunches. So you're going to take your toes and scrunch up a towel. My favorite one to do are marble pickups. So, and I'm in the bonus room, so the closest thing I could find was a dog bowl. So it doesn't have to be a dog bowl, just something to put the marbles in. So we have different sizes of marbles, and so you're just going to take your toes, pick a marble up, and drop it in the bowl. So anyway, that's just working those little muscles in your feet that you never thought that you needed to work. So there's that. So what I want you to do is put in the comments below how that tennis ball roll felt on your foot. Please tell me you tried it, and I think you're going to love it. Also, I'm going to put a link below to where you can find marbles, because they're not as easy to find as they used to be. So watch for that link. It's going to be in the comments, and let me know how you like the tennis ball. Have a great day. See you soon.